Dober Fantasy players and fantasy football fans, Monday Night Football will wrap up NFL Week 14 with the New England Patriots going to the Miami Dolphins. Here are the players we recommend to start and sit on your Dober Fantasy play cards for Monday Night Football. If there's one thing that we've learned about the Patriots over the years, it's that you can trust their running backs for consistent fantasy production. However, since returning from injury in Week 8, Rex Burkhead leads all Patriots running backs in snaps, receptions, and touchdowns. With Mike Gillislee a healthy scratch in each of the last 4 games, Burkhead has taken over at the goal line and in short yardage situations. With Rob Gronkowski suspended for this game, there will be more red zone opportunities available. Burkhead is a strong candidate for those looks, which will help him get over his projected fantasy points total. Fading the best quarterback in NFL history is nearly as dangerous as targeting a New England running back, but Tom Brady hasn't been himself in recent games. In his last 5 games at Miami, Tom Brady has a 2-3 record and has averaged just 15.97 Dober Fantasy points per game. Against these same Dolphins at home 2 weeks ago, Brady put up just 20.68 Dober Fantasy points. Already without Julian Edelman, Brady will now have to get by without the suspended Rob Gronkowski as well. This doesn't set up to be a blow-up spot that fantasy players would need in order for Brady to get over his projected fantasy points total. In his last 5 games, Julius Thomas has really come alive as an important part of the Miami offense. In that span, Thomas has averaged 4 receptions and 9.48 Dober Fantasy points per game, after averaging just 2.4 receptions and 3.16 Dober Fantasy points over the first 7 games of the year. The turnaround of the New England defense has occurred with the team playing a ton of 2-deep coverage, the perfect defense to be exploited by tight ends. Thomas had one of his best games of the season 2 weeks ago in New England when he caught 5 passes for 52 yards. Expect him to be heavily involved in the game plan again and get over a very favorable projected fantasy point total. Early in the season, people were talking about DeVante Parker as being one of the breakout receivers of the year. However, after eclipsing 8.5 Dober Fantasy points in each of his first 5 games, Parker has just 6.6 Dober Fantasy points in his last 3 games combined. He's seemingly fallen behind Jarvis Landry and Kenny Stills in the pecking order among Dolphins receivers. On top of that, Parker has been either exceptionally bad or exceptionally unlucky lately, as he has been the target of 5 interceptions during this rough 3-game stretch. Good players like Parker don't stay down for long, but we're looking to fade him at such a high projected fantasy points total until he shows signs of a bounce back.